Hey now. Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting meeting of the Gelbbo Videos Watching Animu Club podcast.
Hey guys, how's it going?
It's your club president, Starter Pack Drew, over here, and your vice president over there.
SukaSuka.
Yeah, you know us by now, hopefully. We still don't have 3 members, so we're not officially recognized as a club yet, but we'll get there.
We'll get there.
We'll get
Hopefully.
there. So, yeah.
Fucking love Geneva.
So today, we're talking about another show that we've already talked about with our first impressions of. SukaSuka, or World End. What are you doing at the end of the world? Are you busy? Will you save us?
I love that name, actually. I think it's very, like, I remember when I first talking about this, like, oh, the show's gonna break my heart. A name like that's really fucking deep. Like, I know it sounds really, like, overdone, like long, but it's, like, kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
What's going on.
Now that we have the context, it's like the show's name makes a lot of sense.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, so when we last left off, Willem just got introduced to the girls as weapons, and since then, some shit's gone down. Not a lot of bad shit, but
yeah. So ultimately, where we're at is episode 7.
Seven,
correct?
yeah.
So
something
at this point in time, the biggest factor, which we'll probably get into a little bit later, is that Cathali has lost her power.
Yeah, she managed to get out of that fight that she was supposed to blow up in and not blow up and get back to her cake. So
get back to her cake.
Yeah.
But it was funny. Me and Drew were just like going over the episodes, just kind of like, breezing through them, see like, just kind of brush up on what's going on. And he said it. Yeah, I felt like there's a lot more that happened from the beginning up until now.
Yeah.
And I realized what it is.
What?
There's a lot of just character stuff. And learning more about the lore and the people.
Oh yeah, there's a ton of that.
There's just so much of it that I thought, it's like, oh, what about that great fight? That wasn't really a big fight. No. Everything leading up to let's call him Glenn.
Oh,
Glenn Radar shows
up.
But everything leading up to like Cushman William is just like, hey, they have that relationship of like they care about each other. Is what I'm gonna say for now.
Yeah.
They care about it. She likes him. He's still being like, I'm not really sure what to do with my feelings type of thing. But he fucking cares. That's what I do like about him. He really he cares about all those kids as a father figure, but her the most.
Yeah.
And it's funny because now he's on the opposite side of come home.
Yeah.
Before it was the other way around.
Yeah, because he was supposed to.
He was supposed to, but he didn't, which totally blew.
Yeah.
But where's it going? God damn it. I got like really sad because I'm just like, man, there's so much to the show. But ultimately, what you realize with the characters is that he found the way, almost that, hey, you don't have to explode. Because ultimately that was their goal. When you defeat the beasts, you're supposed to just go in there and explode. And that's it. And maybe you'll kill them. It's like, what? Yeah. And he's like, and this guy, we realize he's a great sword fighter, and you realize in the show, like, what is it you realize? They don't teach him how to fight.
No, they just teach him how to, like...
Here's a dug weapon and just explode.
Yeah.
That's legit all you ever learn. And all they ever learn.
Yeah.
Sorry earlier, guys. I think I was rambling.
No, it's all right. It's point... Because, like, I just really want to get into this whole thing about, like, she managed to not blow up.
Yeah.
She got out of it unscathed for the most part, except that when she came home, she was in that coma, and then she, like... Because the thing we learned about what they are as I'm going to call them fairies.
Not leprechauns?
Yeah, the show calls them leprechauns.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's freaking stupid.
I don't really know how that's supposed to, like, filter. Because, like, if fairies, leprechauns, I think they're 2 different things.
Yeah.
Like... Seriously.
What leprechauns have wings?
And fly and all that shit.
Yeah.
But I know what you're gonna say, but what I really want to get into really quick, just super quick.
Yeah.
Because even though it's 7 episodes ends, and I was talking about, like, I felt like I was rambling, but ultimately it was just we learned just a little bit more about Willem and how he is as a person.
Yeah.
And then we learned a little bit more about the organization.
Yes.
And how they do things. But from episode 1 to 7. It's pretty much, you see it as it is. There's no real depth to it other than emotion.
Yeah.
But the thing is, though, the emotion comes from the fact that you actually start to care about everybody. You want the best fucking for everybody. Why do these fucking little kids have to grow up to be just running bombs? These kids have to be fucking, just, that's it. They're all a bunch of flying bombs for something that might happen, that might work. And just so you know, the world is fucked up. And this is all we have is a bunch of fucking little kids who don't give a shit about how they live their life. And they're just going to explode to help better mankind and whatever non-mankind thing there is.
Yeah.
I think from now until 7, that's why it felt like there was so much to it, because we're going to show you their life before any of that shit happens. And the person on the outside being the audience and Willem. Those are the people on the outside. Us two.
Yeah. And
I think that's where the show feels like, well, wasn't there? No, there wasn't a big fight. Well, there was, but it's the thing with Cathali, and yeah, but what was it mostly concerning? Well, I wanted her to get back. I wanted her not to fucking blow up. I wanted her. Will taught her how to fight, just a little bit. Yeah. Go back. Like, you see the little girl Tia, and you want her. Oh, I love all these places. I love movies. It's super cute. She's gonna die sometime in the show, sucks. And you're just like, you're being fed someone's life, knowing that they're gonna fucking die for this one reason that might work.
Yeah.
I think that's why it feels like so much happened, because it's just like, hey, you want to hear a nice story about these nice people? Just so you know, the world is pretty much over, and this is what we have. These people you're gonna meet are people who are gonna die soon. And at that point, that's where it makes the story heavy.
Very heavy.
You know, that's why I think I like the show. Is because, like, it's not just, oh, look how cute we are. We're living a life. This is great. Yeah. You know? It's, these people don't have a life. When they do have a life, they enjoy what they do. But at the end of the day, they're born weapons to be just, you know, go in, explode, you die, you may save a little bit. You may save us some time.
Yeah. And the main factor why everybody's kind of okay with this, I think, is because what they are, they're not necessarily just born as what they are. What they are is they're actually just like reincarnated souls of like dead humans or dead other people.
Yeah, isn't it like more than one too?
It's like kind of just like cobbled together,
put together to create this certain child.
Yeah, it's like super weird, but that becomes a point, like I was saying with Cathali and her coma.
Yeah,
because these children are just amalgamated souls and just like reincarnated people, so they don't have like the same memories, but they can still access them, which is the point of Cathali. She got out without blowing up, and we're starting to see the we think it's supposed to be a good thing that she didn't blow up,
right?
But the thing that the show is showing us with that coma, like, first of all, she's in that coma. She's like talking to this other like little red-haired girl.
Yeah, that would, at first it was weird, but I'm like, oh shit, because they explain a little bit more that these are souls of other people who lived.
Yeah.
And we funneled them together to create this thing that creates this leprechaun. This fairy. But then when she got in the coma because she went to go attack the beast, like the beast like unlocked something. Like she unlocked all her personalities, like unlocked the souls that were inside her.
Yeah, so now she's
causing
like,
her to have that coma.
Yeah, so she just goes insane. She's asleep for like 3-4, like a bunch of days. And she's just like talking to this like little red-haired girl that's like just talking to her.
Yeah, hey, follow me.
Yeah. And then she eventually wakes up. But when she wakes up, her hair just like one little like couple strands she has like suddenly got red.
Yeah.
So what this is all my point is culminating to is that the thing this show is kind of, I believe, is revealing to us, it's actually there's a reason we have them explode a certain way, because if they don't, and they just keep, like, they unlock that thing, like you said, something's gonna happen where who they are now is gonna disappear, and they're probably just gonna turn into
the newer consciousness inside them.
Yeah, whoever they were before.
Oh, I never thought of that. Shit.
Yeah, because like that's what I was thinking of when she had like the red hair.
Yeah,
I'm like, she's probably gonna
person's coming out,
because if you think about
because they don't have any records of anyone being as old as Cathali.
Yeah,
there is, but that you're at the prime age to fight / explode.
Yeah, their job when they get to where Cathali is to explode. They all have a blow up date.
Pretty much.
They all have a blow up date and they all meet it. She's the first one that's really never done that. When you think about it with the intro, they show her and then immediately after they cut to like some like white background and some like red-haired girl with a sword.
Yeah.
Just like that person in the very first episode who like fell off the thing. And then he also, because like there's that other dude, the Great Sage.
Yeah, who was his old friend from like when he was alive.
Yeah, when he was
nuts.
Yeah, and he's just like an old dude now, an old wizard who got like cursed.
Yeah, he cursed himself because he was like, if I do this, I'll pretty much be like a lich or something. Or like, he's just undead.
Yeah, but he was friends with that dude when the Great Sage was a little kid, and the same red-haired girl. So I'm wondering like, this is all like culminating together to something that I think there's going to be a connection there,
right?
With who Cathali is probably going to turn into.
Yeah, honestly, I don't know. Like when Cathali went into the coma, I felt super bad because it was like she was slowly losing her mind, which was like sucked. I was like, wow, this really blows. Like I really don't want that because that's what I was saying. Everything earlier, everything leading up till now has just given you a reason to care.
Yeah.
Because it's, why do these people have to do this? Like, you're human too. No, you're not human. You are a manufactured weapon who happens to become a fairy because we were able to imbue souls to become this thing. You can wield these weapons and only you. But your job is to die. And it just sucks because this is why the show is like, I remember the first time I described the show. Oh, he's gonna save, and then that some bad organization is gonna show up. No, there's no bad organization. It's just Beast, and it's not even the bad organization. It is just structure of how things are. That's the villain in this show.
Yeah.
Because remember, fucking Willem's pissed. Yeah, no, we created these for this reason, and he's like, why? It's just how it is. You want to sacrifice one person or these things that we manufactured for the greater of, I'm not saying humanity, but for the greater life that's out here. Don't you want to go back to the surface? Remember that?
Yeah.
You want to go back there? And he's like, what the fuck are you talking about? We have a life up here. What's down there is dead and it's gone.
Yeah.
And you're creating all these things for some dream that you have of going back to where you came from and where I know we came from, but we already have a life up here. And he's like, there's nothing down there. Just nothing. And it's just like, then, so what is the point that you want just to keep creating these weapons so you can go back there and everything's going to be normal, everything's going to be fine at the cost of these manufactured souls? And the reason, and you can tell I'm getting upset a little bit, because that's what this show is. It's, hey, here's a norm at the cost of someone.
Yeah.
No matter how low a life form you think they are, they're not, but they're also the greatest life form because they're the ones who defend this world.
Yeah.
But they're also expendable.
Jesus.
You see how it just goes back and forth, and then what's episodes 1 through 7? The middle half. They were a child. They grew up. They love food. They eat. They play. They watch movies.
We even see that too, like Niglotho and Willem took like those four kind of middle children to go see those like that lizard bromance movie.
Yeah, and like just like then that little girl, the green haired one, Tiat. Yeah, she's like, oh, this is the movie I enjoy, and you're like, oh, that's so cute. She loves all these movies. That's all she's ever gonna get out of her life. Yeah. Before she explodes, because why are you taking her to? Is she sick? Is she taking her to the doctor? No, Willem. We're making sure she's growing up okay because she's gonna be the next one to die.
Because she's ready.
That's what it is. She's growing at the perfect rate for these things to happen so she can just give up her life and maybe for the next, 3 months, everything's fine.
Yeah.
And that's where this show, like I said, the problem isn't the beasts. It's just how things are. Because the little glint of hope that we've gotten from the show was Willem teaching Cathali how to fight.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why she survived. Because she could fight. Other than that, everyone else kind of knew how to fight. You can do some of this. It's cool. Yeah. They have their style. But ultimately, what's the point of teaching someone how to fight if it can just explode and kill most of it?
Exactly.
So the problem now that Willem is facing is, the structure of how this world works. Because as you know in the show, he's not of this world, so to speak.
He's like the last surviving human.
Yeah, they have a name for it. So that's what they use.
Mnetwit.
Yeah, like that's what they used to be. So now this is the new world. This is how things are.
Yeah, he's trying to like desperately give them a reason to live.
Yeah,
he wants them to have, because he's the one dude who's
he's
like
us. He's us fighting for them.
Yeah,
he's us. How we feel about these characters. And it's Willem that's doing all this shit. It's not because I don't know if you feel that way. I feel like he's going to be the representation of how we feel. That's why I like the show.
Yeah, I understand that totally. It's just that like I just understand him more as like as the character.
Yeah.
As like just the dude who really cares about them and is like he's honestly the first character I think I've seen in a long while that's truly just cared about people.
Yeah.
And hasn't had some dark thing happen to him or just that makes him like
sort of.
You know what I mean? Something that doesn't make him like, ugh, I have my fucking reserves about something.
Yeah, no, he's just like, we have to cherish life because life isn't the greatest thing in the world. I lost everything doing something that I'm supposed to do.
Yeah, he's the ultimate optimist in a terrible situation.
Yeah, that's right, 100%. Agree.
Yeah, and it's like I never see shows with optimists. Everybody always has some moment where they're just like, everything looks like it's not going to work out. He always seems to feel like there's another way out of this.
Yeah.
And I'm going to make it my job to make sure that these girls don't just fucking die for no reason, because he sees the value in them, even if they don't see it themselves.
Yeah. And the worst part is it's dwelling into a territory that no one understands. You can have your feelings. No one knows what happens after a certain age.
Yeah.
This is where this is coming from. But what I need to know after the show is the reason why that's happening is because of the beast or because that's just natural progression of a leprechaun?
I feel like it's just going to be natural progression because it's like...
Because remember, that thing opened up and fucking Jet Jaguar showed up.
Yeah.
It's like, Jet Jaguar.
When did that happen?
Because remember, she was gonna slice him with the sword, but then this humanoid figure stepped out, like half body.
Oh yeah. It was like in the body
and then,
of it.
like,
Yeah.
Which I'm like, whoa, what is that? Is there some sort of I don't want to say like remnants of humans in there. That seems a bit like a stretch.
It seems, yeah, but like...
But at the same time, yeah, leprechauns and fairies.
But the point is, though, like, that first... Remember at the beginning of, like, that most recent episode we just saw, when that girl was reading that book, and it said, like, humans released the monsters, made the beasts, and that was, like, something about, like, that was God's first mistake, was making humans.
Yeah.
And it's like, if you connect the dots in that way, God making humans was a bad mistake, because humans went on to make the beasts.
Yeah.
And it's like, so maybe there's some truth to what you say there.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know, dude, because like I said, it's funny, as much as I want to know more about the lore of this place, I want to make sure everybody's fucking okay.
Exactly.
Like, I'm at that point. Like, this is why I like the show, because to me, and you'll always hear me say it, but this show, I didn't have to say it first. Like, other shows, like this show, this is the part that gives it heart. No, this show just has heart right off the bat. Because I think the show doesn't take the fighting to be like, oh, here's a cool fight. Like, you need to see this. It's like
the fighting's not the reason you're here.
Yeah, like the fighting it's real, but you don't have to have all this fighting. Why? They can just explode. So, those people, that's their life. That I'm just like, wow, this is really cool. I feel bad.
Yeah.
I don't want to feel bad. I love these characters. They're great. They're gonna die. Everybody's gonna die, but they were born to die. You're born to lose, pretty much.
They don't even, like, they're just made up of other people, too. It's not even, like, what they are is just something else that has been, like, reconstituted into something else. It's not even their own.
So, I'm going to have to ask you, Drew, where do you think this is going to go?
Jesus. If I had to guess, based solely on what we've seen so far, something bad is about to happen to Cathali. Right. I feel like the show is going to end with, like, her having to, like, her turning into that other person.
Turning into something bad.
Yeah, or it's going to be one of those situations where it's like, it just slowly like rips her apart from the inside, having all these like souls work its way up and she just naturally blows up or something. I don't know, something to that effect.
I know what you mean. For me, this is hard, honestly. This is hard for me to like be like, oh, this is what it is. Because what I said before is nothing what happened this entire show, and I am happy.
Exactly.
It was like hey, Zuka, you had the idea? Yeah, you're an idiot, and that's wrong. And you're a
Yeah.
dumbass. You don't think very well.
Yeah.
Everything up until now, it's just like, oh, there's a love connection, but it's like, whoa, this. To me, it's like, yeah, there's a love connection, but it's like, what you care about it. It's not like, oh, I love you.
Yeah.
Oh, we're almost gonna kiss. You know, it's a real. I have a duty I need to fulfill, but I don't want to.
Yeah.
And him is, I know, but I'm gonna do my best to try to change this. Why? Because it's wrong.
Right.
That's why I like it. I like that's there pretty much. If you really want to get without the relation, without the love part, that's what it is. I
Definitely.
care about you. You have a shit deal. I think I can find a way to stop this fucking shit deal.
Mm-hmm.
Ultimately, like I said, I may understand that whole inside thing, and people are gonna understand it. Like he said, I'm gonna talk to the Grand Wizard and say she's gonna be under my control because now no one knows what's going on anymore. Nobody at this point in time. This has never happened. So she's gonna be under my observation. If this show really wants to break my heart even more, especially as like someone who's studying nursing and being around people like at pretty much at this area is he's gonna slowly start seeing those changes. He's gonna have to deal with the fact that she's gonna forget who she is, or become this new person, or become this even worse villain that happens. He's gonna have to deal with the fact that she became this all powerful being, or this strong person who's threatening other what is it, leprechauns, because maybe she feel that they're inferior because why?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's gonna have to slowly see her change, i.e., the progression of her hair changing color.
Yeah.
And like you said, it could kill her from the inside out. But just imagine, like I said, she changed into somebody else, and it's just her fighting back and
Ugh.
forth, just like how they were, of like hey, let's totally what is it? Ugh, shit. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I lost my thought. I got a message on screen as you saw. Shit. Where was I going with it? Fuck, I lost my thought. I feel like an idiot.
Well, this is a good time for me to bring up there was another show that as soon as you said that reminded me so much of it. There was a show I watched called Plastic Memories where
Oh, yeah, you're telling me about
I've
that.
told you about that. It's this show where there's these robot people have basically become a thing. People hang out with robots and like they have a programmed like personality into them.
Yeah.
But they're real. Like it's as real as you can get. So the goal, this dude who teams up with his own robot girl, they realize like it's very similar to this show where these robot people have an end date. Like they expire in 9 years because if they don't get collected before then, they like go crazy. Like literally, like their minds just go blank and they go crazy and start attacking people.
That's nuts.
So that reminds me immediately of this show, especially with what you said, because his partner, the robot girl,
Yeah.
they develop a relationship, but her expiration date is coming in 6 months. So the very last thing they do is they just have one day where they just hang out with each other because they know the end is here.
Right.
And the whole idea of these robots is like they don't get scrapped. They get reused. Like they just get when one personality's done, they just they can sometimes just put in another one. And some people do
sucks.
that. So that's why it's reminding me a lot of this show because at the end of that show when his partner was like gone, they hinted that he was getting a new partner, but nobody knows if it was just a reprogrammed version of his old partner or some new one.
Right.
So that's what I'm wondering, like this show and that just reminded me a lot of that because the fairy people, they're kind of the same deal. They have their own like personalities that are like programmed into them at birth.
Yeah.
And they eventually have their own expiration date, and if they go beyond that, something bad happens.
Yep. And the worst part is no one knows.
And nobody knows. That's why it's like it was better in this show at least because they knew what would happen.
Yeah.
Here, nobody knows what the fuck's gonna happen.
Yeah, because and the worst part is what you're dealing with weapons.
Yeah.
You're dealing with bombs. Lack of better words, you're dealing with something that's supposed to save us, but is also highly explosive and extremely powerful.
Definitely.
And like I said before, like if she just oh, I'm dying, and like, that's it. Blah, explode.
Yeah.
And that's dumb. That's so dumb. I'd be like, and they explode.
Yeah.
She has to throw her off a building, and then she falls out, and then she explodes.
They need tragedy.
Yeah,
if they're gonna go that route.
They need to. I'm sorry. I think this show is gonna drag out something horrible.
Really?
No, but you know what I mean, like that, like
yeah. That
episode of like William, like she's fucking freaking out because she's talking as a different person. And he's like,
that.
Who the fuck are you? It's just like, no, I'm just like blah blah blah, and then she snaps out, she passes out.
Oh god.
Wakes her up. Oh, Carl, you okay? Yeah. I'm not sure what happened.
Oh god, you say that, and I'm like, damn, I don't want that to happen.
I know. I'm saying like they're really gonna be if they really push that, that'd be scary. You know what I'm saying?
That would be terrible.
But the worst case scenario is exactly what I said. That happens, and then she slowly becomes crazy, and she starts killing people.
Yeah.
And shit just goes down that way.
Like, she's probably just going crazy, not because she's turning into someone else, but because she's just got all these voices.
Yeah, that or the person's telling her.
Yeah.
Or the person fully just takes over.
Something like that.
Just a loss of self.
Definitely.
A slow loss of self in the eyes of someone you love.
Yeah.
It's gonna suck if that was it. But that's the best / worst thing I can come up with.
So, if you'll notice, we sound a lot more depressed and angry right now.
Yeah, I'm pretty mad and angry at my own head.
Yeah, because like we have very bad ideas of where this show could go, but like
this is what I liked about this show, because not like, oh, the person's gonna go there, have a good time. It's like, no, we're constantly talking about people's emotions, and I think this is what the show's about: emotional attachment to people and situations. It's a grandiose version of it.
Yeah.
But lack of better words is like dealing with someone with dementia, or dealing with someone who had something bad happen to them, and now they had to change to someone else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is just a grandiose idea, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It is a great idea, but that's how I think it will unfold. If not, I don't know what other route of her red hair, and she's gonna see more visions, and then like, all kinds of weird shit and explosions and killing and fire. Yeah, okay, it doesn't seem world end.
Yeah.
World end seems to be something that's gonna hit you emotionally.
Very emotionally.
Because, watch me eat this cake. Now I'm crying. Why? Because that was the cake she was supposed to eat when she got back, but she was fucked up in that goddamn coma that she couldn't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
But what it's just like, it's the idea of right there. Well, you got to see William, and everything's normal. It's like, no, but the promise was, I got to eat that cake, and now that she actually gets to eat the cake, it's real. It's finally fucking real to her that I'm eating the cake that William promised me when I come back after this fight. 100% real.
Yeah.
It's not just I'm back. Oh, I love you. You know what I'm saying? No, it's I'm holding on to these emotions up until this point, which was the confirmation, biting into that cake. That's why I like this show. Because it's not just, all right, now have her spill it. No, she spilled it after something that was deeper than what it was.
The show is so much deeper and emotional than I was expecting away.
Yeah, me too. I was like, bro, I don't want to cry.
It's like, I ain't crying, you are.
Nah, this show, I'm like, crying. Yeah, it's a good show. I'm fucking crying. If you ain't crying, you ain't watching it right.
Oh, I'm sorry.
One of those. Like, I ain't even gonna fucking defend myself. No, man, it's fucking good. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? One of those, like, you cry. Why? Because it's good.
Yeah.
You want to cry. It made you feel that way. It's not, I'm crying because, duty, honor, and I killed the blue whale.
Yeah.
That made me cry, too. That's a whole other story.
But yeah, I want to just get away from, if you have no other thoughts, I want to get away from depressing stuff. Yeah. I want to talk about some more happy stuff about this show.
It's about 30 minutes. We good, man. Nice depressing podcast.
What? I don't want people to be depressed. This is the
depressed cast of
No, we ain't ending on depressed.
Us here at Gelbbo. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
We ain't ending on depression. We got to make it happy for the people.
No, I agree. What's up?
Yeah, aside from all of the sad, depressing shit, all these characters are very cute and adorable. I love them. Great. Like, I loved the whole thing when Willem took Tiat to the hospital.
And to all the movie spots, and she knew everything. That was super cute.
And she was totally just like, I don't want to see anything. You're the one that wants to sightsee.
Yeah.
And it's just like she gets so excited looking at everyone. He's just like, yep, it's That's what I thought.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. It's like, oh, thanks for showing me that because I wanted to see that.
Yeah, it's so adorable. It's like these characters are all great. I love them because they act so. They don't act like they're weapons made to blow up.
Yeah,
they just act like normal people.
Because they early on they're like, yeah, they have a strong disregard for their own life.
Yeah,
but it's just like, oh, like oh, that's all around here. Wait for me, that one little girl.
Yeah.
It's always the same one. I'm like, oh, that's cute. Or when they all eat the food because they never had delicious like food that women made. And it's like, yeah, this is super cute. Like that's why I say the show. I mean, it gives you that middle part of like, oh man, everybody's happy. This is awesome.
It's just, and I love that like Willem even said to that like one the orange haired girl. I don't remember her name, but like he said like I already consider you all my children.
Yeah, that was cute. Yeah, because even the show asked you that. The show legit asked you, aka Willem. So how do you feel about us fairy weapons doing normal jobs, normal people stuff? It's like I never thought of that either.
Yeah,
son of a bitch.
It's like, yeah, it's just like, as long as it's not illegal or anything bad, you guys do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's just like, he's just such a good, like, father figure for all of them.
Yeah, it made me very happy. I mean, like, even on the good side, emotionally, the stuff's really good.
Yeah.
It really does a good job of just making you feel for all these characters.
Yeah.
Not just in the sad way, but in the happy way, the content way, and just everything all around.
Yeah. The show is just it's
was
good.
Way more emotional than I expected.
Way more emotional. Everything's great. World end. We're not busy at the end of the world. We'll probably save them. We're not busy, and we're gonna go order some pizza because I made that joke in the last one.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I remember that one because that title was so long and like we said. The title plays into the show now because it's like, are you busy? What do you do at the end of the world? What are you doing at the end of the world? Are you busy? Will you save us? It's like it's talking to Willem because it's like the girls.
Are you gonna find a way for us not to die?
Yeah. So it's like the title isn't just a giant joke on how long it is. It actually has purpose.
Hell yeah.
So that concludes this meeting of the Gelbbo Videos Watching Animu Club podcast. We've gotten about a little over halfway through SukaSuka. And we only have a few more weeks left until this show ends and destroys our happiness forever.
We'll be crying. Oh, the fuck, dude.
If we do that podcast, we might start by crying, and I don't care because
we're gonna rewatch the episode. Just when it's over, we're just gonna press We're gonna press X on X on my PS4, and we're gonna hit record. So
yeah. So until then, guys. Get home safely, do all your homework, make sure it gets in on time, make sure you guys study for those entrance exams coming up next year, and have a good night.
Good night, guys.